Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Fred Warner, linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. Abercrombie has the new suits you need, plus all the collared shirts to go with them. The Abercrombie & Fitch Collins suit is the only suit you'll ever need for any occasion. Available in slim, classic, and athletic. Pair with a collared classic. Go with a soft, easy-to-wear sweater polo or a comfortable long-sleeve shirt. With so many different fits and fabrics, you can make a look that's completely your own. Add the Abercrombie & Fitch Collins suit and new collared shirts to every occasion this season. Shop online or in store.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 217, Disney Pixar Buddy Films. Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the number one place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hey there, animation addicts. My name is Chelsea Robson.
And I'm Morgan Stradling.
Oh, and we are jumping on that nerdy couch today. So a couple of episodes ago, we had a question that was submitted by one of our patrons, Rose, called, Who is your favorite Disney BFF? That was episode 211. You can go back and listen to that one. But in my preparation for that episode, I went through every single one of the Disney, Pixar, mostly animated movies, and I basically separated them out based on like, okay, what exactly are we making a list about? And so that one was decided that I had a whole list of rules, and basically the buddy movies were cut out of that. And so today we are going to be discussing the buddy movies.
Chelsea, what is a buddy movie?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that, Morgan. So if you look at Wikipedia and like the definition of their buddy film, the top line answer is a buddy film is a subgenre of adventure and comedy film in which two people, often both men, are put together and on an adventure, a quest, or a road trip. The two often contrast in personality, which creates a different dynamic on screen than a pairing of two people of the opposite gender. The contrast is sometimes accentuated by an ethnic difference between the two. The buddy film is commonplace in American cinema, unlike other film genres. It endured through the 20th century with different pairings and different themes. Okay, let's go through their definition of a buddy film. Do we agree with that? To an extent, I do agree that it's generally the same gender, but not necessarily always a men.
Mm-hmm.
Though I would say that, yeah, there are quite a few of them that are men. And then also, I don't agree that it's necessarily accentuated by ethnic differences, but more so like personality differences.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at this list right now, and immediately based on that description, I think of Tommy Boy. Well, not that description, but just when I think of a buddy film, I think of Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And they don't have this listed at all. I'm like, that is an epitome of a buddy film. Bad guy in a little coat.
It's true, yeah. It is often a road trip or a quest. I do get that. And then in the buddy film link on Wikipedia, it does say like Laurel and Hardy in the 1939 film The Flying Deuces. And basically it's the tall skinny guy with the fat short guy. We never change.
We never change.
Morgan, you tell that story.
For those of you who have heard us say that quote multiple times and are like, why do they keep saying that? We never change. I took a history of animation class when I was in college because obviously. So we were talking about Hanna-Barbera and a lot of the animation techniques that they used and their characters. And they always had like a really tall character with a really short, fat character, typically. Not that doesn't have to be fat, but one's tall, one's short, right? And yeah, so, we were just talking about different instances of this as how it's happened time and time again. And he just said, we never change. And so I told Chelsea that story. She got a kick out of it. And now it's one of our go-to lines is, we never change. It works. It works.
It does, indeed.
This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV, it's a new way to experience driving. The all-new fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
So we're going to be looking at, on Wikipedia, again, it does give another list of animated buddy films. And for anybody who is interested, you can go to rotoscopers.com/217.
Yeah, we'll have the links to all of these different articles so you can check them out yourself.
Yeah. So this one actually has more than just Disney. Like, for example, it does have some from Don Bluth. It's got The Ice Age, Wallace and Gromit. And then you've got several others. I mean, there's some of these that I'm like, I don't see you as full-fledged buddy films. I can see how you can like twist it that way. Like Mr. Peabody and Sherman, sure. But I don't know. I still feel like the best buddy films are where they have two opposing opinions and then the journey that they're on, whatever that is, brings them together, whether or not their opinions change, but more so that they're able to join together and be more equals.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I see as like the perfect buddy film. What about you?
Yeah. Two people that maybe don't want anything to do with each other. Circumstance brings them together. They have to go on this journey together and off they go. I'm thinking, recently, you were mentioning a Goofy movie that for sure is a buddy film. Even though they're related, they want nothing. Well, Max wants nothing to do with this journey, this adventure, but they're forced to go on it together and they have their different viewpoints and they learn to love each other and see each other's points of view. And at the end, they're a big, happy family. They're friends, right? So totally.
Yeah. So we're going to go through a couple of these, mostly Disney Pixar, and we're just going to ask ourselves, how did they do as far as the buddy film genre goes, what we think is a good buddy film. And then I think as we finish, we're going to talk about what is our favorite buddy film. And I think replay value will probably play a heavy in this, but let's just go through and chat.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. In no particular order, I just grabbed some of these from the animation buddy list that you can find. Okay. So we're going to start with in Wreck-It Ralph, Vanellope and Ralph. How do we think that they did as far as like buddy film? goes.
Oh, that's a great buddy film. You know, I wouldn't necessarily have initially categorized it that way, but yeah, they go on this adventure. Ralph needs, to get out, and he's trying to figure out his thing. And Penelope, she's the glitch, and she's trying to do her thing. Well, I mean, the glitch isn't like, hey, she doesn't lead off and say, hey, I'm a glitch. But yeah, that's something that they deal with together, and ultimately they work together and see each other's point of view and end up liking each other at the end, where that was not the case. I like it.
Yeah. It also goes against the whole has to be the same gender thing.
Yeah.
But mostly because there's no chance of there being a romantic thing going on, which I think is the main thing.
Says who?
Well,
you don't know if she didn't have a thing for Ralph.
I mean, that's true, but it doesn't feel like that. They never put that forward. So I feel like it was supposed to be more of this, they're coming
platonic
together as equals, as opposed to, more platonic, as opposed to having other thoughts involved. Okay, so Dumbo. Is that considered a buddy film with Timothy Q. Mouse and Dumbo?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a buddy film because there's no real journey. They don't go anywhere. They're just kind of stuck in the circus. And so for me, if that's one of the characteristics where they're having to go on this adventure together, I would not personally categorize that.
I am going to agree with you there. They have cars on here with Mater and Lightning McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mater is part of this main thing. It's more Lightning McQueen's story.
It's Lightning McQueen's story, and he meets Mater, and Mater's around, but it's not. They aren't joined at the hip, and the success of one is dependent on the success of the other.
Yeah,
it's Lightning's story, so I would list that as a no-go.
Yeah, okay. Carl and Russell in Up.
Oh, 100%, and so cute.
Yes, I agree. They do a good job of it, and especially you don't need to know more of Russell's story other than you do learn his story as you go on, but it's more. It's very easy to understand Carl's story. They just do a great job of pushing those two together through it.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps in Zootopia.
Is that a buddy film? They are paired up together. I guess I could see that, but that wouldn't be my top first one that I think of.
Uh-huh.
It'd be very low on the list, I guess.
Yeah. Because they do try to make it that like a buddy cop movie, but I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't stand out to me. Zootopia is not one that I feel the need to go back and watch more.
I'm the same way. Whenever I see Zootopia, I'm like, meh. I'm gonna watch something else.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about it, but people love Zootopia.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that's where I stand on it. Eddie Valiant and Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Again, for me, I guess the big thing that has been stuck in my mind is this road trip aspect, but that doesn't necessarily have to be, they just have to go on an adventure or work together towards something. I guess I can see that. Yeah. I prefer that one much more than Zootopia.
Yeah. Okay. How about Maui and Moana?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear. I mean, they do not want to be together. Maui, they have to work together because by working together, they're able to accomplish their goals. Maui is not into it. He does not want to be stuck with Moana. And Moana, I mean, she if she could do it herself, she would, but she needs his help. So yeah. I think it's a great one because they really do learn and grow together at the end.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely much more, rowing forward, and he's more okay, I guess I'll come along. I guess this is the only way we can do this together.
Right.
Okay. Kenai and Coda in Brother Bear.
Yes, for sure.
Would you put this high on a list?
Just because I don't love Brother Bear, I wouldn't put it high on the list, but it's on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, the quality of the film reflects the quality of the buddy movie aspect, right?
Right. How about Dory and Marlin in Finding Nemo?
Totally.
Yeah.
I also see that one.
And then you also have Cusco and Pacha from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, yes. For sure. Cusco. Oh, Cusco. Oh, he's great.
It's such a wonderful, wonderful piece of history and art.
Yes.
And craziness all rolled into one. All right, Miguel and Hector from Coco.
Miguel and Hector. I wouldn't have initially thought about that, but
I think it is a buddy film, even though they don't find out that there is a relationship between them, a familiar family relationship between them until later. It definitely starts out, they're joined together by common motives, or maybe not even common motives, but like a common goal. Then later on they are, something happens where they grow together and they think, oh my gosh, look at who we are together. Yeah, so I think
exactly like that.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I know. All right, and then we have Todd and Cooper from The Fox and the Hound. Oh,
I don't consider. Yeah, I mean, they are buddies, but then they get interrupted. They just, life gets in the way and they get separated. Where they don't really hang out.
Yeah, it doesn't totally follow the buddy friend frame in the fact that they don't have a goal that ties them through to an end result. But it's a different form of buddy film for sure. It's definitely, I don't know. That one didn't make my BFF list just because of the whole thing. It probably should have made my BFF list, but I kind of saw it as more of a buddy film because there were, they start out as friends, but then they grow apart, but then they kind of like reconcile. So I don't know. That was an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So of course, Buzz and Woody from Toy Story 1.
For sure. That's one of the top ones. It's just such an epitome classic buddy film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about this one? Jessie and Woody from Toy Story 2.
So I would not consider that a buddy film at all. There's so many characters that are involved. And when Woody gets there, it's not necessarily Jessie that's the one thing that he's tied to or that he's kind of at odds with. It's all of the Roundup gang.
Yeah. Then in this case, would you consider Toy Story 2 to be one of the, and we'll do this on our next Nerdy Couch discussion, I have a new group of friends.
Yes. It much better fits the I have a new group of friends films. Yep.
Okay. We'll move that one right on over then.
Great.
Okay. All right. So next we have Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt.
So this would be considered, Bolt and the cat, I guess.
Yep, the hamster there's too. I think, when there's that trio, you know how I feel about trios, you can't be a BFF if you're with a trio. Can you be a buddy film if you're with a trio?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would call this a good buddy film.
Would
this be considered a new group of friends then?
No, I mean, it's a buddy film. I think the hamster really is just basically there for comic relief. He doesn't have really any issues personally with Bolt. He's just along for the ride, but it's Bolt. And I love how we keep saying the cat. It shows how big of Bolt fans we are. But yeah, Bolt and the cat are the ones that are like kind of at odds the majority of the time. And then come around.
All right. How about Brave?
Yes. I do think Brave is a really great example. And I like that we see, female characters also in this role as well. But the mom-daughter dynamic is something that makes that film stand apart and stand out. And, they have to figure it out. They have to work together.
So we're going to go to Monsters University. So this, in case, would be the dynamic between Mike and Sully.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good, buddy comedy, buddy film.
Onward, The Tale of Two Brothers.
Yeah. It's an interesting version of it, whereas for the most part, they enjoy being together. They're excited to kind of go on this trip together. At the beginning of the film, they're kind of on their own little plane doing their own thing, and they're not as strong of brothers, but they go on this because they're really excited to meet the dad, and it joins them together. And then ultimately, they do have that rift in the middle when the one brother says that the other one's kind of what's the term? Like wash up, essentially. Never going to amount to anything. So yeah, that would work.
Okay.
In a different way, which is nice. It's nice to see the formula broken up in different things. Like it's not the entire time we have to be mad at each other. This one, they kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It is interesting to see, a buddy film, how it can actually adapt to different starts and endings. So you don't have to totally go at it this way, but you do have to have some type of disconnect, I guess.
Yes.
And then more of a connection toward the end. So in Onward's case, the disconnect would just be they both have their own reasons for meeting Dad. And then it just brings them more together as you go through the film. Okay, Raya and the Last Dragon. Obviously, there are more characters that join up in like each one is...
It turns into I got a new group of friends at the very end.
It does turn into an I got a new group of friends for sure.
It's a hybrid.
But I think it is, yeah. But it does connect mostly with Raya and the dragon because Sisu is trying to tell Raya, hey, you just gotta be nice to people and gotta trust them, all right? You know, you can do it. It's fine. It's like, okay. So yeah, she's the opposite charge in that dynamic. But yeah, it kind of does. But I mean, the reason I didn't put it in the I have a new group of friends is because each one of those characters are very short-lived. Like they don't develop them at all.
I wouldn't add it. Yeah, it's kind of a buddy film, but I'm not high on my list.
Yeah.
Because they really don't have any issues with each other. Like Raya's like so excited to meet Sisu. Sisu's so excited to help. Like they're buddies, but not we're mad at each other buddies.
Yeah, that one is definitely more of a disconnect into finally connect. Okay, so the next one, let's look at Luca.
I wouldn't consider Luca to be one, to be honest. He goes
Really?
up there
Why?
and he meets Alberto, but they're kind of like always on the same page. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I guess it comes down to when you look at they're both on somewhat of a journey. The disconnect, I guess. Well, I mean, that kind of goes back to the Fox and the Hound thing. You know, is it considered a buddy film if they're connected but then disconnect and then reconnect again?
Yeah, I would more put that under I have a new group of friends, even though it didn't really indicate that he had any friends under the sea. But, you know, he meets Alberto and he meets the girl and they're working together, you know, in this new world with his new friends.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw that in there.
Nice.
So and then another one is Secret Life of Pets and then Ratatouille as well. And then my other one, I thought, but then I decide, well, okay, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this one is one of those hybrid ones as well, as far as the I have a new group of friends versus the buddy film.
That's hard. I guess new group of friends because there's Peter Parker, but then very quickly all these other people come too. Peter Parker's kind of like the main friend, and then Gwen Stacy. Yeah. So new group of friends.
Okay. So we'll move that one over. All right. So these were just some of the main ones that I saw on that list on the category for animated buddy films. And so of these, which one, give me your like top 3 to 5, you know, however many you want to put up there, your favorites up here.
So for sure, I would add Toy Story 1. Then I would add a Goofy movie. Then Moana. I really like Moana on this list. And then The Emperor's New Groove. And then if I have to, maybe Finding Nemo. Or no, Up. I would do Up. That's my top 5.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Story, you know, Toy Story, yes. And then I would say I really like Emperor's New Groove. So I'd put that one probably next. I would also add Who Framed Roger Rabbit just because it's got a soft spot in my heart for that one for whatever reason. Max and Goofy movie. And then I think I am going to do Finding Nemo as probably rounding out my list of favorites.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah. All right. Tell us what you guys think. What are your favorite buddy films? And go to the show notes page. Check out those lists and tell us which ones we have missed out on, which ones you liked best and why. We love hearing from you guys.
Before we go, we will read our 5-star review of the week. Today's 5-star is from Doofen Schmertz Evil Nusk 23. I don't know. Super long name, but super awesome. They said, my favorite podcast. They wrote, amazing to listen to. It always brightens my day. Lovely. So thank you so much. Name I cannot pronounce because it's super long, but I love it. You're the best. Of course, you can leave us a 5-star review, and that's the best, easiest, free way to support the show. And of course, if you want to support the show even more to get even more amazing, fun patron perks, consider becoming a patron. It's where all the cool kids are. We are getting ready to hop on an episode right now to do our monthly Rotocast with the patrons, where we get to hang out and answer your questions, do trivia with you guys. It's a really fun time. So if you want to hang out with all the cool kids, Roto Nation is where it's at. That's all I have for today. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Oh, excuse me. That was a unladylike burp. All right. So I'll take it away. Let's see. What should be our question?
Morgan, you tell that story.
I can't remember that story. Wait.
You don't remember that?
Remind
I got it
me.
from you.
I mean, oh.
You were in college.
It was my
and you went to a cinema class. And your professor said that. And you told me, and I laughed. And we've always used it.
I'll say it.
It made more of a difference on me, the one
No,
who wasn't there.
I remember that now. Yeah. I know that it's a quote that we say all the time, but it just like, yeah.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you